The film Toy Story is a perfect representation of a Hollywood film that forms an authentic interracial buddy film. This film's not exactly the first thing that comes to mind when one thinks about what goes into interracial film. However, it certainly does seem to satisfy all the requirements of an interracial buddy feature. Of course, there are no black people or white people overcoming their racial differences, but there is a great deal of traversing cultures on a very basic level between the extraterrestrial space age and the new frontier life of the Wild West. The journey that our characters take together, overcoming obstacles and hardships throughout the film, is exactly what keeps us viewers entertained throughout the feature. It is these aspects of Toy Story that take it from being a static memoir from adults who never grew up to an engrossing emotional feature film. The more we explore this film, the more we can appreciate that it's not just a film about toys, rather, it is an in depth approach to discovering interracial relationships. We chose this film because we think it best represents the interracial buddy genre, has many ulterior applications. So let's discover what exactly makes Toy Story such a good representation of an authentic Hollywood film, even though there are no black people, no white people, and no real people at all, unless, of course, you count the psychomaniacal toy torturer Sid Phillips. According to Melvin Donaldson in his book Masculinity in the Interracial Buddy Film, he says, a conventional interracial buddy film intertwines the emotional, personal, and professional lives of the two central characters over life changing circumstances. In order to have a successful interracial buddy film, the first thing you need is to have two central characters who are different in background but internally far more similar than they care to realize, imagine, or admit. In fact, their denial might be so strong that it might take both characters the entire duration of the film to realize just how much they have in common. More often than not, buddies need each other in order to ensure their survival. This is especially true when Woody's admiration as head toy is severely threatened when the other toys meet Buzz Lightyear for the first time on Andy's bed. His stunts and gadgets, as well as his aerodynamic ability to fall with style, further threaten Woody's position as head toy. In this case, the main character's profession and personal life is at stake. The adventure becomes life threatening when Woody's plan backfires and Buzz and Woody get lost at a gas station all alone. A massive brawl ensues between the two main characters. Buzz seems to lack the basic concept of toy ownership and play, something which every other toy seems to innately understand from day one. It is this lack of identity which works to the hero's advantage, as he is unable to think as he is able to think as an outsider and a real space ranger, outside of a toy's mind. Buzz's knowledge of the outside, though self proclaimed, is what makes Buzz the man who knows Indians in this film. This is what gives him the ability to transcend boundaries from just a child's plaything to think of things that no other toy would ever come up with. From one of the most central elements of a good buddy film is to have interracial buddies. In Toy Story, the differences between the two main characters, is far more than skin deep. Woody is from another generation, making him even older than the other toys found in Andy's room. This becomes a source of much tension between the toys, as Buzz is from the new generation, the new space age generation. One of the most important aspects of a good buddy film is that the actual buddy relationship is the integral part of the story. That is to say, that the character's growth and development is what drives the story forward. According to Blake Snyder in his book Save the Cat, at approximately 1 hour into any good film, the plot takes its most pivotal twist that either makes the character's hopes and ambitions soar or plummet into hopelessness. It is when the character is most certain that he or she will fail or succeed in his objective. Woody attempts to get back home, by catching up to the stroller and jumping inside with the rest of Andy's bags. However, Buzz, in his ignorance, attempts to get home by leaping into an alien arcade claw game. At this point in the film, Woody could have left Buzz to die in the arcade and reunite with Andy and the other toys, and it would have been over. However, Woody chooses to pursue his relationship with Buzz by jumping in the game to save him. From this point forward, the plot is moved along exclusively through the relationship development of the two buddies. Another major contributing factor of a good buddy film is that both buddies are heterosexual males, and that there are no types of sexual relationships between the two males. Furthermore, homosexuality in these films are strictly prohibited, as they are viewed as a sign of weakness. In order for Andy's toys to be accepted as non-homosexual, there needed to be the establishment of a female love interest that either Woody or Buzz can be involved in, thus ruling out the possibility of homosexuality. One example of this factor playing out in this story, in Toy Story, is the establishment of the character Bo Peep. Despite Bo being an important character to Woody, she doesn't play an active role in the ensuing adventures of any of the three Toy Story films. This is because Bo Peep's sole purpose is to establish from early on that Woody is not gay. There is one time, however, during the film that the lines of gender and sexuality are blurred. The most prevalent manifestation of this phenomenon occurs when a masculine hero, Buzz, views a commercial and realizes that Woody has been right all along. Upon realizing this, he throws himself off a balcony aiming for a window, which results in a broken arm and even more broken spirit. Sensibilities shattered, he loses his sight of his gender identity and adopts the female persona of tea mistress Mrs. Nesbit. Buzz's suggested homosexuality in this scene is used to represent his weakness, thus further enforcing the lines between heterosexuality and homosexuality. Finally, the most important attribute of a good interracial buddy film is one word, and that word is comradeship. What is comradeship, you may ask? It could be many things, but in this context of buddy film, it is specifically when the two male heroes achieve a union that is acknowledging the personal sharing and sacrifice for one another. This unique bonding surpasses intimacy of any kind and is defined through undying loyalty, even in the face of certain death. But the real satisfaction we get as viewers lays in the two main characters' abilities to overcome their differences and grow together under the bondage of comradeship. It is this that makes us root for the characters, and it is this that makes us happy for the characters when they succeed. Toy Story ends off with one of the most powerful scenes in film history. The idea of a cowboy doll and Space Ranger being blasted off together toward space is sure to bring a smile to your face. Especially when Buzz and Woody finally reunite in their buddy film and arrive home safely in Andy's room.